All right. And I'm getting the word from the powers that be that we are almost ready. So I get to do my favorite thing for the next 3 hours and watch a JRPG speedrun. And I'm so excited to do it along with y'all. So, Camper, whenever you are ready, take it away with Crystal Project True Ending Hard.
Alrighty, thank you. So, yeah, welcome everyone. Hope you have been enjoying the marathon so far. This is Crystal Project. It's a game that was released earlier this year, I believe end of March, and it is fantastic. I can't praise it enough. It's got your GRP elements, but it's also got a bit of platforming, which I thought might be a deal breaker for me, but there is a demo available, and the demo file transfers over to the full game, so I just highly recommend checking it out. So as far as setup goes, we're going to be using female wizards for our entire party. And it's because wizards are very, very much so overpowered in this game, especially with grinding and such. And then you actually get some stat boosts depending on if your character is male or female. And this is all completely customizable within both the beginning of the game and a little bit in like the middle, so it's very nice. And we're going to be going on hard difficulty, which means that things are more tankier and they will slap harder. So time is going to start when I select this difficulty, and I will say we'll go on go. So let's start in 3, 2, 1, go. Alrighty, so first things first, because we are on hard difficulty, I'm going to be grabbing a bunch of stuff. Mainly equipment to sell so I can buy things. But there's going to be a little bit of a side quest I do in the beginning here. I'm going to be collecting some squirrels. And that's because it will give me an accessory that sells for a lot of money. And I need money because I'm going to be buying a lot of expensive gear that I shouldn't be getting. As far as progression goes, it's very open world in the sense that you're only really limited by like the platforming. So I'm going to be doing a lot of sequence breaking just because I can get to places since I know where they are ahead of time. Also, the flames are basically your random encounters, so you don't have to really fight anything if you can avoid touching the flames. We are going to be doing quite a bit of grinding because, you know, JRPG style, I'm going to need things. Certain levels, certain abilities throughout, and I will just, I'll point that out so we can get some donations or plugs in. But for now, yeah, I'm just going to be making my way. I'll take a couple of these fights. What's really cool is that the movement pattern of the enemies actually changes based on what the enemies actually are. So if you notice in this first area, they're pretty slow, gets the player acclimated to the whole system. And you'll see later on, there's actually a mob that's rhinoceros, and it just straight up charges at you. So it's really cool what they've done. Bit of a tricky jump here if I can get it. There we go. Okay. So there's a couple of tricky jumps here. I'm gonna try and do. There we go. Cool. And this right here is basically like our save point. It also acts as kind of like our fast travel thing. I'm gonna turn on enhanced home point, which makes me basically set up 3 of those, and that's allowed in the standard category. So there's standard and unrestricted as far as categories go. If I go into these options, you can see that there's like boost XP, LP, and gold, so that's allowed in the unrestricted category. But we're gonna be playing by standard rules right now. This is Ashley, who is like basically our main friend who kind of guides us through. As far as story goes, it's not, I wouldn't say it's like a very in-depth story, but it's one where you can just appreciate classic JRPG kind of like progression. It's like, hey, there's the bad guy, they're trying to like disrupt peace, end them. So what I'm doing here is like boss baiting. Essentially, the very large flames are bosses, and you can tell the difficulty of the mob based off the color. So if you remember back in the beginning, there were blue flames, and that one's red and larger. So basically, red means dead. Very, very strong. Ones that I shouldn't be fighting. Okay, let's see. I wanted that to move a little bit of ways. So I'm going to try and go into a fight. I was going to try and avoid it, but I done me goofed. So it's okay. One thing that you're going to see me doing a lot of is when we go into a fight, if it's something that either I don't want or if I need to, excuse me, if I need to heal, I will just straight up use the give up option, and it'll warp me back to the last home point and heal up my party. So I'll be using that for fast heals. Okay. So right now, I won't be fighting anything else for a while, particularly because I cannot. It chased me. That's sad. Thank you for the good luck, Ninja. So that's this is gonna be the downside to hard for a bit, because I'm gonna try and avoid everything, but sometimes they're sneaky. Okay. And you can tell I'm very poor at platforming. Okay, how are we gonna... There we go. Okay. We're almost there. And so this game has been compared to Final Fantasy, and graphics wise, both Terraria and Minecraft, which I can understand. The progression as far as like the class system is very Final Fantasy-esque. So we've got these crystals that we can collect, and it gives us access to other classes. There's going to be one other main class that we use in this, but other than that, a bunch of them are just going to be used for their passives. So like each class has their own like ability trees with different either spells or skills, passives. So we're going to be learning a bunch of stuff for the end game, but for the early game it's going to be pretty much wizard spamming, because they get access to AoE spells and it's great for grinding. So yeah, this is an area I definitely should not be in, but I need to come over here and grab some more accessories to sell later. Oh, I forgot to mention the item that we got from Astley lets us teleport to the home points. And now I'm gonna come over here. There's a mimic chilling. It's cool because like there are certain NPCs that are set to particular classes that you can unlock. So it's kind of like a little preview of what was shown, and also the appearance of the character classes changes between male and female. So you can tell a lot of work was put into this. And shout out to the sole developer of the game, Andrew Willman. They've done a fantastic job with this. Can't praise this enough. So right now I would say in like the second arc of as far as like progression goes. we're gonna do a little side quest here. We're gonna return this kid to their mom, which is basically just talk to them and they'll find their way. Coming up is gonna be that rhinoceros mob, so you'll see how the movement pattern is much different to what we've seen, because it's just gonna run at me, and hopefully I don't get caught, but it should be okay. Hello, goodbye. That was that. Gonna grab this, hopefully not fall. Okay. So what I'm gonna be doing coming up is I'm going to go into an accessory shop, and what that's gonna do is there's essentially like a hub town that's just like the center of where everything's happening. And what's cool is that once you access a shop in a later town or whatnot, the items are actually brought into that hub town. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to sell one accessory so I have enough funds to stay at this inn. And I do this because it gives me a key to the room next door, which has another weapon we're going to be selling. And essentially, gonna go in here. You can see like all these items are now transferred into the hub area, so gonna be good. And because I did the little quest thing, I have the little raft pass. And this is one of the few just like chillin' breaks that I have. So if there's anything the host wants to say, that would be a good time.
Yeah, can do. Just a reminder, we have about 3 more runs left before Synesthete, and another $49 to go for that upgrade to All Songs Warning, the harder difficulty there. Between this and now, we've got Lego City Undercover and Superliminal, and then Synesthete. And those are both pretty short runs, so probably going to want to get that upgrade finished by the end of Crystal Project if we want to get it done. So get those donations in. Let's make that happen. And while I'm here, I do have a question for you, Camper. I'm interested in what makes the category true ending versus any percent? How much more do you do?
So there's a set of side bosses, like optional classic JRPG optional super bosses, and you have to basically complete those, and then you get a key item that changes the final boss to the true final boss. So that's what we're gonna going for. Yeah.
Rad.
So we're in Ninja Town basically. We're not supposed to be there at all yet. There's so much more that you're intended to have done, but here we are. This is also my favorite jump because when I fail it, you get to just like watch me fall, and the drop of shame. Okay, there we go. I should also mention that there's actually like 2 levels of jumping. So if I just like tap jump, I can't jump over this block. But if I like press and hold it, I get the full like 2 block height. So there's a bit of platforming shenanigans. Hey, thanks for the good luck, Orc. The movement progression, really good. So I'm basically limited to sadness because I fell on the platform below, so now I have to do the entire thing. But I'm basically limited to my 2 height jump right now, and I want to say it's like a 3 block horizontal wise, but you get different mounts later on, and so that affects like where you can go, and it's in such a good manner. And I would definitely take mounts ASAP because I clearly can't platform right now. These are my favorite parts. I call them churro sticks. I don't know. Yes, they're beams. Okay. I'm going to spread my save slots just in case I forget to grab an item, because all the equipment I grab is needed so that I can basically make the earlier grind a little bit easier on me. So yeah, these flames, everything here will just one-shot me. Okay, hello. That that one's a fun one. Sometimes that mob aggroes me from there, sometimes not. And that's a tricky jump to pull off too. But it's okay. That's why home points. Okay, where are you? Oh, not here. See, it left me alone. That time it left me alone. Jump. Good. I'm gonna go on the outside. Good. All right. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna set that. A couple more here. So this and this. Okay. So we'll be coming back here because I'll need to collect some more items later on. Do a couple of fights for money and experience. But first, we're going to head on this way. There's just maybe like 5 more minutes of item collecting, and then we can start doing our initial grind, which is to get our AoE spell. Now I could climb that cliff back up and make my way to the hub area, which is I believe it's Castle Sequoia. But there is a boss flying around, and I am very bad at dodging said boss. So I'm gonna take it safe. We're just gonna go this way. So the Quintar Fields. A Quintar is basically like a dinosaur mount, and it's very similar to the Chocobos in what am I gonna do with this one? In Final Fantasy. And as a little spoiler if you're any so familiar with Final Fantasy VII and the Chocobo breeding, there is a similar system in this game. So if you didn't like it in Final Fantasy VII, you're probably not gonna like it here, but it's available. So now we're in the hub town. I'm gonna buy this guy's stone, and basically these are also gonna act as some fast travel items. So it takes me to the shrine, top of the shrine there. Eventually, I will be able to fly around to certain places. Makes things easier. But until I get said mount, we are going to be using our items. I'm very familiar with the Chocobo theme. Is there something in this game that will please the masses? There is going to be a theme that we're going to be hearing a lot. So whether it pleases the masses or not is going to be up to the masses. But we're going to be hearing it a lot. I will say the soundtrack of this game, very good. Very good. There's some absolute bangers in this. Also, you're going to see me bait a bunch of mobs into water because I get put excuse me, I get put back to where I jumped off, but they don't. So it makes my life easier. All right. Crystal number 2. Okay. So even though I'm grabbing all these crystals, I'm not going to be using all the classes. The reason I'm grabbing them is because I need a certain amount of crystals unlocked to get access to some higher tiered gear. So I'm going to be getting, I believe it's 15 crystals in total. Okay, so money looks right. So we're going to do this, that. cotton hoods. And then I need to buy some mana rings. We're gonna stock up on some consumables. Oh yeah. Okay, that should be good. All right, so this. So just to give a heads up, what I've got on are batons for a majority of my wizards. I can't afford 4 of them, but there is a cast time on spells, so that's gonna help a lot in the grind. And then this is just because I can't afford it, and that'll help a little bit. And then you've got your JRPG stats, so like defense, resistance. Defense is like physical, resistance would be like magical. And then mind and spirit, one of them is like magic attack, the other one is more healing. And then yeah, a bunch of accessories are available. So the system is very fleshed out, and the dev is currently updating the game with like changes and such. I'm playing on an earlier patch so I can utilize some of the classes better. I believe it's version 1.1.1. And I don't know what the current version is, because I'm just like, they took away my speed run and stuff. So once we get into the next fight, I'll go over the battle system a little bit more, so we can check it out, because it's really in depth. So we've got everyone's favorite mob. If you play Pokemon, we've got these Zubats, and essentially when I go in, you can kind of see like, oh, if I use a spell, at the bottom you got your turn order, so you can see this wizard is going to be going last, but like before any of the bats go. And then you can actually see how much damage it will do to the mob. Like it's a set amount. And then the hit percent, because I'm using a spell. But there's also these stats that you can just like look at in general, so you can straight up see the enemy's stats, and once you defeat the enemy once, the HP and MP will be revealed. You can also see what they are planning to do, how much damage they'll do against your team, their crit percent chance, and how much the crit damage will do. So it's very, very nice to know ahead of time what things will do. And then there is a threat system, or an aggro. So bottom threat means that like there's a random chance it'll attack like anyone, but like bottom threat is like that particular character or enemy is the least of their worries. And then there is the top threat, which is basically they will aggro on said character. So the game lets you see things ahead of time really well, so it's good with like planning during the fights and such. We are pretty built up right now though, so I don't have to worry too much. This is another fun jump. It's doable. There we go. And you'll see in this next fight, on the left, the Zubats have 170 HP, so I can tell that I can't one-shot with my wizard that has the maple wand, which is fine because I actually need 2 attacks to take out the grub. So this is going to be a little bit of a grinding section. Essentially, I'm going to be fighting these mobs until I get access to Firein, which is an AoE fire spell. And that'll be pretty much all that I'm going to be doing until we get to the boss. So if there's anything our host would like to say while I'm doing this, that'd be a good time.
Yeah, we can always plug that charity a little bit. Just a reminder, we are raising money for Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center, a no-kill dog rescue shelter in Norfolk, Virginia. This is the primary charity of the No Glitches Allowed marathon series, but this weekend is Save Our Shelter, an emergency marathon for Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center. The center reached out to us and let us know that they've fallen on some hard times due to some issues outside of their control, and we're trying to put together money to make sure that they stay afloat until we can help them out even more at our next event. So we have that overall goal of raising $5,000. That will be enough to make sure that they're able to get everything sorted out, keep overhead handled, and stay open for the next couple months while they settle things in, along with our stretch goal of 7,500 would be obviously massively helpful for putting them in a position where they have some security moving forward as well. So you can find the donate link in chat and get some of those donations in before the end of the night, because we do have a donation incentive coming up at the end of this evening with Synesthete.
Yes, please get those donations in. Lots of great incentives out there. Is there any incentive that you're looking forward to having met?
I mean, the stretch goal, the most of all, right? That 4,500, so we can see Tarzan VR.
Oh yes, please.
I'm so excited about that. Who wouldn't want to see Tarzan VR?
That would be amazing.
Just everything I've ever heard about that run sounds like it is just next level ridiculous, which is exactly what I want out of a speed run. I want it to be as silly as possible.
Just the name in itself, you know you're in for a good time.
Yeah, right. Even if you were just like, it's a Tarzan run, I would be like, oh, that's probably going to be like a little janky and a little silly. Then you're like, also it's VR.
By the way.
And again, that is at 4,500. So at 3,500, $240 from now, we will get Kirby's Dream Land, and then another 1,000 past that is that Tarzan VR run.
Okay, so this is the boss who's supposed to be guarding this crystal. De-aggroed. It's okay. I'm actually gonna be fighting this because I need the LP, or like the class points. Just me spamming fire and nothing too crazy. But I believe I'll be able to show more about the threat system. So the reason that it attacked that wizard is because even though my last 3 wizards are doing the same amount of damage, that wizard went first with the damage, so it became its top threat. And so now, let's see. Now, basically, it'll be just going down the line. So my first wizard, who has the lower tier staff, is considered the bottom threat because it has the least threat gauge. And then they'll be going down the line, so it'll be targeting Reese next, and then Vanessa. It should die before then, but that's basically how the system goes. Typically, what draws threat towards the character is dealing damage, healing, or there are some skills that basically taunt the enemy. So just a little look-see as to that. Blurg. As far as experience for characters that are dead goes, bosses don't typically take away too much. If you notice, everyone's got the same stuff because no one has died except for Harriet. That is another case with the random encounters, which there are going to be some expected character deaths later on, so I'm gonna have to juggle some things, but otherwise everything's okay. All right, and we're going to learn our first passive here with everyone. It is initial focus, and it's basically just for the first turn we're gonna deal 35% more magic damage, and that's going to help with the next set of grinding. I'm also going to change, let's see, my first wizard to rogue because we're going to learn a very useful ability with them called Sleep Bomb, and that's going to help with some of the grinding later on. So I'm going to change my home point over here, and we're pretty much, oh, I should also do this. Just setting up my quick item usage menu. So basically, we're going to be caramelizing onions for quite a while. I will admit in this routing of this category, which is primarily done by me just taking some ideas from other runners and seeing what they've done. There's a lot of grinding because I need to get a good amount of abilities for the first boss, which is, well, not the first boss, but the first boss that is particularly RNG heavy, which if you ever get into running this game, I don't think you'll ever escape the RNG of said first boss. At least in standard. I haven't dabbled in unrestricted that much. So yeah, Fire's very useful for clearing this. I'm hoping for tincture drops. The two in the back can drop tinctures, so just hoping for those. Because that means I can juggle my MP better. That's good. Okay, so now we've got this band of cool kids. We got Dr. Kool-Aids. Hey, loser. Don't know if you've heard, but noobs like you are gonna die if you come near us. And so, yeah. Based solely on that, you can kind of get the feel of who they're supposed to represent. So we're just gonna use our AoE here and walk away. Okay, goodbye. Oh yeah, we also stole their lunch money. I love the little descriptions this game has for some of the items. It's fantastic. All right, I'm going to take this last fight, and that should bring our LP up to 4 on the rogue. There we go. So that should be enough to learn Sleep Bomb. I'm going to try and avoid any other fights. They're in good position, so that's fine. Good. All right. We're going to learn Sleep Bomb. We're going to change over to Warlock and set the home point here. Okay. And now I'm going to take the F so my wizards can get their MP back. And we're going to clear out all the mobs in this particular area because I need to learn Frost with my Warlock. Frost is essentially the opposite of the passive that we learned. So it's going to be a debuff to magic, and that's going to be vital in a good amount of places. Oh, I also forgot to mention, each class has an innate passive. So, for example, wizards, they do bonus, I believe it's fire and thunder damage. And each class also has like a different set of level up things. So you'll notice once I switch my first character back to wizard, their stats will be different from the rest. And it's because they have a few levels in rogue and warlock. So it's a very nice and fleshed out system. So after I clear out the next mob, it should hit 3 LP, which is enough for Frost. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here. I'll learn that. So you can see innate passive, double cast, which is something that is cool to use, but we're not gonna learn it. It's basically you can cast 2 of the mixed magic in a turn. Yeah, each one has one that's kind of like geared towards, and you can see the growth off to the right. So it's like if I said character hunter, they're gonna get a lot of points in agility and not so much in max MP. And if you're into min-maxing, you don't have to really like worry about this because you can change what levels go into what class later on. So it's very very nice. Okay, do that. Okay. So now that we've got that, we're going to be grinding to learn some higher tier spells with the wizards. And it's ideal if you're like going to be leveling, like grinding for a class. You actually get more class points the more said classes in your party. So now that I've got everyone set to wizard, I will just be earning like that much more. 287. Okay, so I can do this. I also have little like HP threshold checkpoints, so I see that my main wizards, which are going to be the last 3 members of my party, are at 287 HP, which means I can now get away with using a fire on the first mob and follow it up with 2 fire ins. So just a lot of MP management is going to be going on when we're grinding these. And yeah, I'm pretty much just going to be targeting the 3 stacks here because they'll give me the most amount for the time that I spent, because I can fight the 2 stacks, but it'll be like the same amount of time for one less mob, so it's less worth. That, and I don't get any tincture drops because the 2 stack is just the 2 Reginalds out in front. So right now just grinding for higher tier spells, and then we're gonna do a bit of backtracking. We're gonna go back to the ninja place, and we're going to fight a couple of ninjas that I'm sure people have heard of. And it just speaks to how I guess cultured the dev is. One way to put it, I guess. So I need, well, at least I'm going for 7 LP on my first wizard, which we are getting there. I'm going to take the F on this egg here, which the Quinter eggs are a minigame in itself, and has to do with the breeding mechanic I kind of mentioned earlier. So 313, which means I can just do this. So I guess while I'm on the topic, as far as the Quintar thing goes, there are Quintars that have different like movement. So there are some that move really fast, some that can actually swim, and each one has like a different personality. So there's like gosh, what is it? All I can think about is Fancy right now, but that's because it's actually a boss. There's like Trusty, there's Woke, there's Brutish. So it's that kind of system. All right, one more fight. I've probably put maybe, I want to say 80 to 90 hours casually into the game, and I still haven't done everything that it has to offer. So very, very content filled. All right, we're gonna learn Bolton, Voltena, and Quick Wand. Perfect. right. Okay. We're gonna go here. Oh, that made me panic for a second. I was like, wait a minute. All right. So we're going to get through here. We have to fight everyone's favorite ninja, Sasuke. So we're just going to be using our higher shield spells to take them out. I need to loot the tower. There is a crystal for me to get, which we'll be grinding with the class it gives us for another passive. Oh, yeah, we also have Sukara. I was dying laughing when I first fought Sasuke. I was like, there's no way they did this, and I'm so happy they did. So funny. Okay, so little trickery house here. You can like basically see the floor plan, but I was like, oh, how do I get through here? Door that leads to nowhere. And of course, because we're in the ninja place, you gotta be sneaky about it. So use them poles for the jumping. That room to the right is a dead end. Just there to troll you. So I'm just gonna grab a couple of these to sell because I'm going to buy an accessory that gives our survivability a boost against the fancy Quintar, but it's not guaranteed because it uses a spell called Whirlwind, and Whirlwind has variance, which in this game basically means it can either do a lot of damage or no damage at all. Okay, what's up, Zap? Okay, so let's see this. Okay, I'm going to learn Boltena before I forget. And let's see. I'm going to switch everyone to Ninja. We're going to set the sub-command to Black Magic on them and Mixed Magic on the first. And then equip one on my last three so they can actually do some damage. Okay. And now we're going to do the last bit of grinding, at least in this part. Because we want to learn a passive called Smokescreen, which means that we dodge the first physical attack aimed at us. And then we can go into fancy Quintar resets, basically, because very RNG, highly depends on what the Quintar decides to do. Essentially, if he uses Whirlwind twice, it will most likely wipe my party. I say most likely because, like I said, Whirlwind has the variance, and there's a chance that it just straight up misses, but there's also a chance that it does, like, I don't know, 600 damage to me.
And for reference, you have how much health?
Pardon? Oh, yeah, we're gonna have, we won't even have like 400 HP. It's gonna be a fun time. Also, I will say, if you are checking out this game for the first time, I highly recommend you don't do this speedrun progression because there's so much this game has to offer. I just want people to enjoy that. But the intended way to go through this area would be like you would go into another section, defeat. I think, yeah, they're brutish Quintars, and then you would basically do a little. It's like a little side quest. You would bring the drop to someone and they'll give you a rental Quintar pass. So it's just kind of like, hey, you're borrowing this. As opposed to the reward you get for beating the fancy Quintar, which is the Quintar Flute, which is your permanent Quintar. So this is a shout out to the Discord, speedrun Discord for this game. That's a little jump tech that I had no idea was a thing, so you get to skip all of that. Oh, right. I should probably change my class before I do things. So we're going to learn Smokescreen with everyone. And then Wizard. And put on smoke screen. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, so now we're in the sanctum. We got these bouncy mushrooms. I'm going to try to avoid everything. If again, to fight, it's not a big deal because I've healed up. But ideally, I don't fight anything because I don't have to. Okay. Nope, don't follow me. Okay. There's a chance that mob learns how to bounce and it's hilarious. It'll just like straight up follow me here. So I'm gonna drop down here, grab that, and then on the left side there is another. That's I think that's armor. Whoops. Is it ever worth it to grind the Phoenix Quintar running around? I think that it's a good source of XP and LP. It gives a good amount, but because there's only one of them, I think it's better to grind like I call them onions. In my personal opinion, because there's more of them, you'll get roughly the same amount of like XP and LP, maybe just like a little less, but the amount of time that you spend, I would say that it's good. But then again, you know, if you're gonna be grinding in like a JRPG, you know, you grind what's available. So this shell amulet is going to help because it will reduce the damage that whirlwind does, but even with it, nothing's guaranteed. Okay. I believe I am set up. So we're gonna go back here. Grab this crystal because I will need more. And it also heals me up. And yeah, just gonna do a bit more platforming and then we'll see how it goes. And I will say it has gotten to the point where I've added to my own live split like a death counter to this boss. Please, please, please. There we go. Okay, starting with an attack is good. If you notice down below, you can kind of see like icons. So it's going to use an enemy skill, which is what that signifies, a little rainbowy thing. That's whirlwind. Let me see if I can go. There we go. Yeah. So like I said, it has variants. So you can kind of see that it's like, yeah, it'll do that. It could be plus or minus 51 from like that base. And then if it crits, it's that. So it's pretty much gonna be the same for all my characters, and it's an AoE. So the chance of us living 1 is good, but 2 is pretty much a big dead. I also opened up with Frost, so the Quintar has let me see if I can go into the stats. I think it's this. It's somewhere. I want to find the status ailment stuff. I guess it doesn't have it. Oh yeah, well you can also like check what abilities each mob has. So quick is going to be rough because it will be able to do 2 turns at once. Haste is like okay, it's not terribly bad, but it can be rough. But yeah, so I debuffed the Quintar. And that paired up with the passive that we have, which gives us a 35% damage boost for the first turn, means that we get a good amount of damage off. So now it's pretty much up to this whirlwind. If someone dies, I have to give up. Okay, good. Because it didn't haste, I should be able to do another frost. And yeah, good. So things are definitely looking up. Seeing that attack is good. Okay, another attack, that's perfectly fine. So, should be good. Nice. Alright, I wasn't trolled. Heck yeah, let's go. So I got the fancy Quintar Eye. That is going to let us get the Quintar Flute. I'm going to change to Trickery with that wizard. And take the F here. just the heal. Okay. And this is the guy who you would turn in the brutish eye. Well, I think it's a brutish eye, maybe. Let's see. And they would give you the Quintar pass, but we skipped that, and now we have the fleet, so we have access to our first mount. This is very speedy, but you don't get much height. So, for example, let me see what's a good thing. I can pretty much only jump on this table if there's like a second block. The Quintar can only jump up one, so it's that kind of thing. Let's see, and then move that here. We're going to buy this. Yeah, if you play through the demo, and let's say like you have a demo save file, that file transfers over to the full game, so you really have nothing to lose. That. All right. Okay. So we should be good. So what I'm going to be doing here is there's actually a guard that doesn't let you into this area if you come out from the castle, but going to the shrine and walking along the wall lets me basically avoid that guard. And we're going to be heading into Salmon River, which is a lot of just movement. So based on how I play, it'll determine how this section goes, which means it's going to go poorly. Yep. Good start. So I'm going to be trying to avoid a bunch of these. I will be able to fight them if I can, but I have no reason to fight because I am pretty set on like XP and stuff. Okay. It's going to be like that. And I need to switch between the Quintar and just running around because of the jump height difference. Okay. Uh-oh. Well, I'm caught. Because it's going to put me back onto the, I guess, log that I was at. So pretty much throughout these, going to be using Voltenna because it does the damage. I'm going to also heal. Okay.
So is there ever a in-game explanation of why the Quintar is so big in that boss fight and then smaller than like... you on the overworld?
There is not. You know, I never really thought about it that way. Maybe that's what makes it fancy. I don't know. That's a very good question.
Well, because I was thinking, I was like, I wonder who would win in a fight, like a fancy Quintar or like 100 Chocobos. Then you got to the overworld, and I'm like, well, at that size.
Yeah. If that's what we're dealing with, then. Okay, got through. Not too bad. I don't need this one anymore. Okay, so we're going to do some more broken progression. So the idea here, this is the salmon race minigame. Basically, your rental fish is very slow, has no chance of actually like winning. The way that's intended is that you progress through the story enough to where you actually like get your own fish, which isn't the fastest fish, but it's okay, cool. I got stuck on a block. Those mobs are meant to prevent me from doing exactly what I'm going to be doing, which is going out of the minigame area. This is the I forget what it's actually. There's like 3 levels of water exploration. Like you can go to each level with just one fish, but there's like different names for each, and I forget. It escapes me right now. But essentially, I'm going to where you would pick up the salmon violin, which is like your own salmon. And you're supposed to get this after doing like a dungeon, which makes more sense in terms of like the progression of things. Because I want to say this is like the last mount that you would get normally. That one. but since I know where it is and it's accessible, I will grab that. And now I aim to win the race because it will give me the Salmoncello, which will be the fastest swimming mount. But first, I have to win. And this race, it can be finicky at times, mainly because there's collision with all the other fish. So it's very easy to just like get stuck behind a bunch of these. But what's a fun thing to do if you can manage it is that if you happen to like land on a fish, you can just like pretty much like ride them. The only issue is that they jump a lot, so you're most likely gonna fall off. But I've landed on one before, and I'm just like, okay, this is nice, free ride. Okay, I'll take it. So I'm trying to get first place, which shouldn't be that bad, but the one that's in first is miles ahead. Like, these other fish don't even compare to the speed of the first one. So I need to find where they are. I think I heard it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Get back here, you. It should be okay because it's programmed to not have like perfect movement. Yeah, there we go. Boop. Okay. So we get a bunch of stuff. The main thing was the cello. There are some things that I will sell, but other than that, there's not too much. What is current world record? That's a good question. Because, and I say that because I am the only one that currently runs this category, and I improved my time by like 15 minutes, but basically unofficial world record is 2:08:49, and my time before that was like, I want to say I was like 2:21. Yeah, I remember doing like that race casually, and I'm just like, how the heck are you supposed to beat this? So I'm gonna be going over here to pick up this paladin wand. Not for using to slap things harder, but sell for money, because always hurting for money. So yeah, that fish that we were trying to beat, oh well, I guess that we did beat. Now I basically own one of said fish, so we're going to be zooming through the water a lot. Okay, so I go here. There's also this like nice little dungeon. This is a really cool dungeon. There's like 3 bosses you have to beat and such, but we circumvent that by having the fish mount. So I'm skipping a lot of content, and that's just like, it kind of saddens me because it's like so good, but the speed. Is that marathon world record? Absolutely. I believe it was someone submitted Crystal Project to RPG Limit Break also, so that'll be cool to see in it. So I'm gonna be climbing up here because I need to get the stone for this shrine. So I'm gonna be using this a lot. Hey. All right, let's sell that, and that. I think that's it. Okay, get that stone. Okay. And similar to what I did earlier, I'm going to just access the shop so that I have access to the goods in the hub world. Okay. Hub world, the hub town. Yeah, see, thanks for the good luck. Thank you. All right. So now I can get one more baton to make that even. I'm gonna get these wizard hats and the cleric's hood because they buff the fire and, is it thunder? Yeah, thunder damage respectively. Wizard robe just for a little more damage. Optimize that, and then we're going to go back to the shack. All right, so now we're going to go into more of an end game area. First, we're going to pick up this nomad crystal, which is you talk to the wise fish here, and hopefully not fall into the lava. Good. So this more endgame area, lots of scary stuff, lots of platforming. I should be able to one turn everything, unless I get into an encounter that I am not expecting, but it should be okay. So that jump's a little bit tricky to basically jump up from the waterfall there. And yeah, there's that's basically Ashley's crew. So there's like a rogue, I believe an Aegis, and a hunter that we'll see later on. But yep, nice. For now, we're here. Okay. So some of these mobs will move and try to attack me. Other mobs just stay still. So I'm going to do my best to avoid the ones that I can't avoid, I guess. Sad. Okay. Doing great. Doing great. Yeah. All right, this one is avoidable, but most likely won't. Yeah. So it's pretty much gonna be spamming Boltenas. Because I was able to get higher tier gear early on, it's not as bad. Because these things will destroy me otherwise. And I get a good amount of XP and gold. I always use more money, both in game and in real life. Okay. So the rest of this is pretty much just gonna be some platforming. There's like one more fight that I have to take. I need to restore my MP, and then I'll be setting a home point for later. So if our host would like to plug anything, that would be a good time.
Yeah, we're trying to get some money in game. We're trying to get some money IRL for this charity here.
Heck yeah.
No new donations as of yet. But just a reminder, we do have a couple targets, couple polls coming up. Y'all have heard me talk about them. Last time I talked about the Synesthete upgrade coming out. Let's talk one more time about that game language choice for Death's Door. I'll be playing any % no major glitches tomorrow morning. I'm doing that run. Right now, French is in first place with 100. I've never played the game in French before.
Oh.
I've also never played the game in German, which is in second place with 64. But as a promise to the French and German enthusiasts, I will do my very best to pronounce character names in whatever language wins.
Oh, very nice.
So if you want to hear my worst impression of French or German, go for one of those. If you want to go fast, though, Chinese is the fastest language. Japanese is the language I usually run in, and English is the one I speak the most of. So any contender does have some benefits. But right now, French is pretty firmly in the lead there with that cool even 100.
Very nice. That sounds like it's gonna be a fun time. Just like, oh, I'm gonna start this run in a language I don't know. Hopefully, I don't mess things up.
It is also easy to change on the fly, so we can keep that fight going through the run. So just because France wins now doesn't mean they get the whole run. If German takes the lead halfway through, I'll just change the language.
That's actually pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a really quick menu.
All right, so what I picked up right there were some first strike mitts. Basically, TT is, I believe it's like turn time, so it's kind of like helps with preemptive. We're gonna go back here, and we're going to grind just a little bit. So the angry sharks that are made to prevent you from going places. Yeah, we're gonna be grinding them quite a lot later on, but this one's going to be just a little quick one to learn some abilities. Now, the reason I have Sleep Bomb, I think is mainly for this initial grind. It's because the skimmer boss is queuing up Surf's Up, which is an AoE that is going to wipe my party. So what I can do is put it to sleep. It'll skip its turn, and the next time it has its turn up, it won't be using it. So I'm going to be doing this for a couple. That wizard dying is just an unfortunate casualty that I can't avoid with these strats. So this is where you're going to see the XP. So like right now, everyone's XP is lined up. My first wizard's LP is different because they were changing classes, but if you notice, now my second wizard has a little less XP gained because they died. So that's going to be, it's not going to be too bad, but it does change some things later on because turn order is determined by basically I believe it's the speed stat. And because there's like just that little bit of difference, it means that the rest of my party will be like one level ahead of them, and so turn order is gonna get messed up. I have to keep an eye out on that, but other than that, nothing too bad. Okay, so this should be the last bit of this one because I need I call them the main wizards, basically the last three. I need them to have 11 LP so they can learn Flare. Flare is a very strong and overpowered move because it ignores resistance, which means that you don't have to worry about magic defense, and we're going to be using Flare a lot. Fire Arena and equip wand. Okay. All right. So I'll just go ahead and take the F. Just use this for a little quick heal. Come here. So that's set up. I need to do, whoops. Is that right? Yeah. I need to do another shop, get the dancing shoes. Dancing shoes makes it so that we get haste for the first 2 turns. Very nice. Let's see. First strike here, dancing, that, and then here. Oh wait, clerics. So I'm setting up basically just things for the next section. I'll also do that, but I can do that later. So I've got the Cleric's Hood on everyone because it increases fire damage. That paired up with Flare, which ignores magic resistance. Gonna be pretty nice. Now, you'll probably recognize this from the I want to say beginning of the run, but like at least earlier in the run. We're going to be taking a different path now that we can swim. And if you play this casually, this is something that I actually learned from like doing speedruns of this. This little like waterway system is connected to a lot of places, and I had no idea, and it blew my mind how everything is like connected. First, I'm gonna set up a home point here. I don't need the shack. So I'm going to be grabbing a crystal that you're intended to grab more closer to like the beginning of the game. There is a boss I will try to juke because I have mounts and movement. I believe you can dodge it without the mounts, but it makes it easier. So now, yeah, right here. I'm just gonna. Boop. Yep. Got me. Okay. Well, I guess we'll do this. And this poor boss. So definitely not meant to die in 2 hits, but it is what it is. Okay, touch this. And then I need to change the subclass of my first wizard to mixed magic so I can utilize frost. There we go. All right, and we're going to warp back out here. All right, now we're going to go into, I guess I want to say like this is the second arc area. Like the things aren't defined, but I'll just call it the second arc because we're basically going to go to the desert area that I was in earlier, but like the main reason that you want to be there. I can't beat that fish fight, and it's very unfortunate because depending on where its placement is, I can either dodge it easily or not at all because it's very fast. So that's part of the reason why I have this little home point right here. But this little area is cool too. The Jade Cavern. Maybe. Okay, cool. Whew. All right. So, oh yeah. And if you remember from the beginning, this is where I dropped down and grabbed this item after baiting out that boss. So we're back here. Stop dying, but I get to restore HP, and I need to restore my HP after being set to max HP from dying the first time. Okay, cool. So now we are in a little desert temple. We're gonna grab this crystal. It's the fake Sloa. It's Sloa's alt account. As far as like mobs go here, it's things will be okay. Like I can like kill things, but dodging the mobs may be rough because they like to act up sometimes. Oh no, okay. Let's see. I can figure this out. Okay, cool. That's stuck. Oh, okay. There was one hiding. Botana. I think I flare that one. So I didn't want to go that far, but I did. I need to touch the buttons basically.
Got a quick second for a donation?
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
Our previous donation total was $3,263, and we just received a $6 anonymous donation that just says nice.
Okay, nice.
So now we're at 3,269.
Nice, very nice.
Thank you, anonymous. Nice indeed.
Very nice.
Until proven wrong, I'm going to assume it was Sloa. Thanks, Sloa. That actually is Sloa's alt account. If you look very closely, the L is actually a capital I.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. That's how you can tell.
Mystery solved. No. Oh, it's going to get me. It didn't get me. Okay, cool. Okay, that one was waiting for me. Lots of encounters here. Not too bad. It's like I'm trading this for some of the grinding later on, but not enough because these ones don't give me that much in terms of XP and stuff. So they're more of a nuisance if anything. But this dungeon is a lot. Uh-oh. Peace. Is a lot harder without the salmon mount because the only mount that you are intended to have here, I believe, would be the Quintar. So it makes the platforming and stuff, and we're able to go a lot more limited. But since we have the fish, we're kind of chilling. I don't know where this one is. Okay, cool. All right. I'm going to set a home point, and I'm going to take the F here just to heal up, free heal. Okay. So, we're going to fight this boss, and we actually have to fight this boss because we will be getting the goatest of mounts. I'm gonna open up with the frost and do some flares just so I can get the passive damage onto the boss. So that possess basically means I can't use that character. Nothing to be worried about though. And now that all the mobs are on the field, I'm just spamming Fire Arena. And it should die the next turn. Atmosphere is a ability that it's kind of like Confuse, but instead of like it being like a random ability and whatnot, it's just like a random target. So it's not too bad, especially if I'm just going to be using AoEs. So yeah, there's that. And now all the goats gather around and I get the evac bell, which is our goat mount. So the goat can jump up, I believe it's 3 squares. So more progression. I'm gonna try and dodge this boss. Perfect. Okay. So do that. Might as well do that while I'm at it. Oh yeah, I guess I could show like normally I can't actually reach this. But with the goat I can. So that's why I need the goat for this. Gonna grab that Callisto Stone, and then we have our final mount right here, the owl. So now, basically, the world is out there for us to explore. There's an idiot, something about an oyster, right? So I'm gonna be using that that little area as like a hub flight area, and we're gonna collect a couple more crystals here. This next one is very much so not intended, and I was surprised to find this out because I was just messing around in the area. I was just like, yeah, I would like to route this in, and I found this. I'm gonna say glitch. It's probably gonna get patched out soon, but I found this by complete accident, and those are the best things when you find out something by accident. It's actually useful. So over here there's a really cool dungeon here. Actually, it turns this into like more of like a 2D platformer, but essentially you can do the owl glide into that slope, which it's supposed to be like a one that you can't go up, but if you hit it just right you can actually ascend it. How hard is this game to speedrun? I would say that it's not like particularly hard to get into. I would say learning off of someone's run would be the hardest, because it's hard to be like, you go this way and this way. It's much easier to just like watch a VOD and take your own notes. But everyone in like the Discord is super helpful, and we share stuff frequently. So yeah, just to like demonstrate, this is like a slippery slope that you're not supposed to be able to go up. And yeah, just use the owl and you can just like ascend it. So we got the summer crystal. Let's see, what's next? Let me look at my notes. Sorry. Got it. Okay. We're gonna go back here. No, this one. We're gonna go here. Like as far as like grinding for RNG, there's in this category there's let's see, fancy. There's like 3 bosses that actually are RNG dependent, but otherwise pretty much set. In any percent standard, there's 2 bosses that are RNG dependent, which one being the Fancy Quintar, and one which we will see later on in this run, which is kind of sad because as far as any percent goes, that's at the end of the run. So you could just have a run literally die to, I believe it's like a 3% chance of a miss that you need to not have happen. Oh yeah, this is before I just like run away. This is the Quintar little reserve area. So Quay. I wonder where I got that inspiration from. Eventually you can talk to them, but that's like another little side quest that we don't do in this. I don't need that. All right, and this is cool. So you see, there's like an owl chilling here. That's the game giving you a hint that like just leap of faith. Oh, I don't usually use it, but there's also like a little camera tilt, so you can like peek left and right. You can't go like all the way around and do like a 180, but it's fun to just like spam these. So I'm gonna be doing the Weaver side quest because Weaver's going to be our main carry class. It's like a, I guess like the time class if I were to put it in, I don't know, I guess like Final Fantasy terms, because it's very overpowered. All right. I honestly don't know if I can kill things here. I think I can, but I usually don't get caught. And since I'm saying that now, I'm going to get caught. I'm going to grab that just to sell, because I need some money later on. There are 3 keys scattered throughout the area that I need to grab. Last key is a little bit hidden. I'm going to be using some tech that was recently introduced to me into Discord. So this wall right here, it's like a 4 block, so Eva can't reach it. But what you can do is like a little jump buffer. So you charge up Evec and switch to like the owl, and if things work properly, you get just enough height to climb up it, because you get the 3 block with the goat plus the little extra height that you get from the owl flight. So really cool stuff that I only use like twice, but happy to use it. I also need to take off the first strike mitt for this fight that it's kind of a pain, because if it goes into its second form, then it will slap. But good old Metapod over here. I'm basically just going to debuff and flare, but good old Metapod. Using Harden. Classic. I just love these references. Okay. I'm going to re-equip those before I forget. Alright. And get our last key over here. I absolutely forgot to set a home point, but it's okay. I think it would be faster for me to just like go back. I got too excited to show the jump tech. Oh yeah, no, this isn't bad at all. Just like right here. Maybe, perhaps. Oh, what's up, Koala? Oh yeah. Yeah, we're fine. I'll just set this just in case. So there's one more little extra boost that I'm going to be doing, and then we will get into the Weaver Temple, which is a good bit of platforming. I actually had a lot of trouble with this particular dungeon area in my casual playthrough, because I just could not get past the trickery. And then I learned the speedrun stuff, and I'm just like, wow, it's way easier with these amounts. This, okay. So yeah, the gimmick with a good amount of dungeons is basically there's 3 switches. If you remember in the waterway area, there's kind of like the similar thing. And that's going to be the same thing with this dungeon. 3 switches I got to press. Yeah, the mountain progression is so good. All right. So, going to be using the fish. There's another 3 switches I have to press. I'm going to try and not get caught by that. Okay, good. So I'm just gonna be making my way through this. These blocks tricky. These blocks are the reason why I had so much difficulty, because I don't know if I had the owl then. No, I should, because that's the only way I can get through. But they move. Things move when you don't expect them to, and you just like run to mobs. This is a little tricky. There we go. Good. I've had trouble with that movement recently, so I'm glad that panned out. All right, I will take this encounter just to warp back to the beginning. It's good. Speaking of nice, that tool, yeah, very nice. Crystal Project no mounts. When I turn off the game, that's when that is. Oh yeah, this section. Much easier if you just do this, but I struggled real hard getting through that. All right. And we're going to jump into the sand pit just to reset our position. Okay. Okay. And that is Weaver. So I'm going to set everyone to Weaver because we're going to be going into one of the grindy sections, because I need to learn all the abilities of the Weaver. And just a heads up, Weaver's like the timatic stuff. Look at this skill tree. It's an hourglass. Love it. Just had to plug that. So need that. I need black magic on them. I need equip wand on everyone. And then let's see. Oh yeah. And optimize. Oh, I forgot there's a bone knife. Yeah, the skeletons in the snowy area, they can drop bone knives, and it screws up my optimization because the game decides that the bone knife is better than the batons, and this is not the case for my purposes, at least. How's my pace so far? I think, let me math, roughly 20 minutes ahead of estimate. So the Flame Seeker wand is going to be very strong. It nerfs my thunder damage, but for the most part, I'm going to be using flare, so 50% more fire damage. Quite good. Quite good. So let's see. I'm going to go here. I need to buy some more of those, and I need 8 caster's rings. Oh yeah, I can also sell the bone knife, absolutely, and that keep this flame seeker. Let's see, caster rings 8. Okay, now we're going to use the Poseidon shard, which is something that we got from the salmon race. I'm gonna buy myself the stone. I honestly don't think I need it, but I'll grab it just in case. Set my home point. I don't need this anymore. And we're going to do a little side thing here. We're going to get the pointy hat, which increases the debuff duration that we cause by 1 turn. So it's going to help out a lot. This is actually very tricky to get, I think, casually. Yeah, Final Fantasy and Minecraft is like the two comparisons for sure. But someone introduced me to this neat little setup. So first we're going to go into the area where the sequoia is, and there's like this giant tree. These are its roots, and it's an end game dungeon. Really cool, actually. Like the movement that you have to get through. Like it's completely possible to do the dungeon with what I have right now, but really easy when you have the golden quintar, one of the two. All right, so do this because the golden quintar gets the benefits of a bunch of the mounts all put together. All right, so that was like a little octopus that you'd have to like chase around or just get it set up like I did. For that, apply the stone. Okay, that's all I needed. Yeah. Okay, so I need to put pointy hat there, cleric's hood, and caster's ring. Okay, so that should be it. And yeah, so what I'm going to be doing for a good amount of time here, because one, I'm getting XP because eventually I will need 43 levels on all the characters. But I'll also need 30 LP in total to learn everything. What's really cool about the Weaver is that its innate passive is that its first whatever you do is always going to be AoE. So if like I was going to heal, this is normally just a single target, but it affects everyone. I'm going to be debuffing all these fish like this. And then I can do, let's see, 2 flares and a Bolton finish. Any other game inspirations this game has? Off the top of my head, like I'm just trying to think of like other references it makes. I can't think of them. But I'm also not cultured outside of like, say, Final Fantasy. And well, I mean, I do use a glitch, which is that slide. So technically, I don't think I could run this. Yeah, the sushi party. Okay, so this is going to be a case where, if you notice, my second Weaver has less HP than my third, so they're down a level. So that's why I have to pay attention to what's going on with turn order. Just don't do the glitch. Do that area legit. Easy. Slow with the easy solutions. Okay. All right, cool. We're at 27 now, so I can put on the caster's ring, and I'll just do that. All right. So since we're at 27, I can also the caster's ring does a couple things. It gives me more MP, but also gives me a little more magic damage. So now I can get away with a bolt and 2 flares. And what I've got going on is that my second and third Weavers have the fire damage boost hoods on, and then my last one still has like the thunder damage. So I'm pretty much just set up for them doing the same moves. It's just a matter of turn order and watching out for when my second Weaver is a little bit behind. So yeah, we're hope everyone has been enjoying the marathon. It's time to get comfortable because this is pretty much all you're gonna see for a good bit. We'll leave for a little bit and then we'll be back to this. So if there's anything the host would like to say, now is a fantastic time. Now would be a great time to also get them donations in. A lot of good incentives out there. And supporting a great cause. I can see you, yes, Kara. That, and that.
Did I AFK at exactly the wrong time?
No, it's all good.
Classic.
I'm pretty much just grinding right here. So anything you wanna plug?
Fair. Yeah, ain't it always the way when you're like, well, I'll run to the bathroom real quick is the exact moment.
It just happens
every
that way.
time.
There's no avoiding
every
it.
single time. So just an update with that $6 donation we got earlier, that put the Synesthete upgrade to all songs warning target coming up at 32 out of $75. So we are about $43 away from making that. We've got 2 hours and 45 minutes left to meet that incentive before the run. So we've got about $10 per hour that we need to make that happen.
It's doable. What I'm hearing is it's
we can do
doable.
that. Very doable. And once we get that, that will put us only about $200 away from our first bonus game, Kirby's Dream Land. I'm going to
Oh, that would be good.
check the schedule. Looks like that bonus game is scheduled for tomorrow morning at 11:43 a.m.
Okay.
So you've basically got until the end of Death's Door, and then there's a charity interview, and then the bonus game. So you basically got till the end of Death's Door tomorrow morning for us to reach that 3,500 and get that bonus game.
Yeah, get those donations in. That's a really good run. Thank you for the good luck here. So if there's I guess if there's any questions about the game, I'm happy to answer, because I'm just gonna be making some sushi. Well, they're fried fish. There's some sushi rolls that are fried. Frying some fish here. This is a pretty lengthy grind. Everything is set here. Like, I know where the fish spawn, and there's a certain amount that I will be taking out before it's like, okay, time to give up and reset. Why should you run this game? Well, I believe that everyone should at least try out the game, because it has the demo. You can really see if you like it or not. 162. I can't say enough about this game. Love it. And a huge thing is that there's so much unexplored, because you have access to like the entire world once you have like the mounts. So there's a lot of like strats with weapons and classes that, you know, I definitely don't know about, because I am biased towards my own routing. So more influences would be fantastic. Oh, I didn't buy these ethers. Okay, I'll just take the F here. So I forgot to do is pick up the very strong MP restoring item, but that's okay. These ones restore 180 MP. I can just restock these. It's fine. Do that, and we go back. Oh, the biggest run killer of the entire speed run. It's got to be the 3 RNG bosses. Well, other than me performing poorly. Yeah, there's 3 RNG bosses. The first one was the Fancy Quintar with its whirlwind. I've had a run where I died like 7 times to it, so this one was actually very, very kind. There is a boss later on where I need it to actually hit my character so that they counter for damage, and I think it's like a 30% chance to miss, something like that. So that's also unfortunate. And the last one is that another boss opens up with a random status ailment move. And there's like 3 status ailments that if any of those land on the damage dealing characters, I'd have to give that fight up and walk through this long tunnel. So there's a lot of time sink in those RNG sections for sure. But other than things that I can't control, the run killers would definitely just be like not getting enough items for buying stuff at the very beginning, because I've done a thing where I basically collected the squirrels at the beginning and I just didn't get that item. And I'm like, why am I so short? Oh, because I'm an idiot. Why is magic always OP in every RPG? It's so true though. It's too true. It's just fact. It's not a true RPG game if magic isn't busted. Okay, we're actually doing really well with turn order. I'm happy with that. Should only be, I think, like a couple more fights. for this set. And then we're gonna do a bit of crystal roundup, so we'll get some more things going on. Okay, now I don't need all of these abilities, but I'm going to learn everything for the passives. There's like only one character where I actually need all the abilities, but this just makes it easier because I don't have to think as much. All right, that is done. Also, yeah, once you learn all the abilities, you can, there's like these class masters, and basically you can turn those in for an item, and you exchange the item for a really strong piece of equipment. So that's cool too. All right, so there's that. Now we're gonna go over here. And we're going to take the owl down here. Thinking about extra things in speedruns is bad. It's okay. I'm here to invite everyone to play this game, and I just want to show off everything that I possibly can while I have the stage. So there's the fields that we're flying over. That's like actually the beginning area. And this would be like the second part of the I call it the arc. It's not like a set story arc, but my definition of it. So there's like a really cool, actually, you know what? I'll demonstrate it for a little bit. This dungeon is very Legend of Zelda inspired. Because if you've noticed, the camera has just been like moving with the character, right? Let's see. That is the boss room. We don't want to go there. I believe I want to go down here. It's gonna be awkward if I don't. Oh yes. Okay, I know where I am. Oh yeah. Sorry, it's been a while since I've actually like actively tried to do this properly, but I do want to show this. And then if I go here, okay, it's over here. Yes. Not me starting from the end of the dungeon to find the beginning, but yeah. So once I go in here, you see the camera pans, and basically it's just set. So yeah, it's really really cool. You can tell they put like a lot of thought into things, make little references, and I just wanted to get into the main area because the song is also a banger. So there's like mobs and stuff. Really cool dungeon this one is. But we don't need to go through it. So let's see. Next one is this. I'll draw. Oh, I forgot. I need to switch back to wizard. Time. Remove smoke screen, put these. All right, everything's good. All right. Thinking is overrated. Some radiation. Okay, good. All right, I'm going to do this battle gauntlet because it gives us access to another crystal. That's also a good way for me to have my character who's slightly behind to catch up a little bit. It's not going to be quite the same, but it's just nice to have. The game just gets confused. What other explanation do you need? Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? That's not intended. All right, so I need to do 3 arena fights, and then I can go here. Oh my, you qualify. There we go. So this is the Samurai Crystal. Another class that we're not going to be using, but it is what it is. All right. We're almost done grabbing all the crystals I need for the luxury shop, which is the one that will give us higher tier weapons and armor. So this is a little sneaky crystal right here. I think this is one of the last ones that I found. And I'm pretty sure I found this one by accident because I was looking for the wizard class master and I was like, where is it? And then dropped in here and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Oops, not that one. That's fine now. And now we're going to visit one of the harder fights of the game. So this is like the gatekeeper. Basically, you need a certain amount of crystals to go through. And it's hard because they get like, I don't know, 6 turns just right off the bat. Don't know if I'm going to survive this. Okay, cool. So then you just, yep, he's done. This poor guy does the worst job. All right, and that should be the final crystal I need to get. So this is basically like at the very beginning of the game, once you have a certain amount of crystals, then you can start making your way to like the castle that is our hub point. But we definitely didn't do that the proper way. Yeah, spooky fight. All right, so I'm gonna go in here. Basically, it's like, yeah, here's this. You collected these crystals. I need to buy 3 of these master wands. Very high tier wand. Lots of damage. They don't have the CT buff that the batons have. It's okay. I'm gonna buy the MP restoring stuff. The pouches basically lets me have more in my inventory. And more is better. Okay. All right. And now we get to do the, well, I say last bit of grinding. It's the last bit of fish grinding at least. And the goal is to get to level 43. 43 is the magic number because it works. And after that, we'll do a bit of respecking, which is pretty cool. Essentially, I'm going to be shuffling what levels go on what classes. And that's going to get us set up to do like the boss gauntlet. So there's only really 2 grinding sections left in this run. There's this one to get to level 43, and then there's another one to learn certain abilities from certain classes. So we are back to fish for a bit, and then we're going to be grinding on a different mob later. But the best number is 42, right? Yeah, I tried so many things to get, like, I want to minimize the amount of grinding, and this one just like works with, it's like a mix of being able to do enough damage and having enough MP to do the spells that I need. So it is unfortunate, but I did all I could do with my running prowess, which is not that much. Yes, Crystal Project, welcome. Need more followers of the guy, the game to unite. It's pretty much gonna be fried fish with the last 3 because I could afford 3 master wands, which means that they do enough damage. Once they get to like 559 HP, though, you should be able to do a little more. Well, I can bring the first wizard into the rotation. Like, eventually I could buy another master one, but there's not really worth because my first wizard's going to be the off class. It's basically going to be the setup wizard, or the setup character that basically just sets up the boss so that they'll take a lot of damage. Do you climb the top of the tree in this category? No. You don't need to fight that boss to unlock the tree ending. I don't think, at least like right now, there is a like all bosses type of category. and I don't think any of the runs need the accessory you get from it. Yeah, what's up, Eat It Up? Game audio is low, almost inaudible. That is a thing that I cannot control. We'll leave it up to the tech team to determine this. Yeah, I think the rough thing about all bosses would be, I think that there's like a boss mob that's not considered, like it doesn't have like the boss aura, so it might get finicky there, but I don't know. I would be interested in like an archive completion, which I can go into the archive after, but basically it's like this archive stores like all the equipment, all the enemies and what they drop and stuff. So like filling this out would basically be like close to like 100% type of deal. If not, it would be. And then there's the achievements, but like, yeah, having this all filled out with like, even with like the steals and things, that I would love to put some time into, but it's going to be a lot of heckin' time. Also, Eat It Up here is working on the randomizer for this game, and I've taken a dabble at it, and it's very good work is being done. It's just hard because the dev updates things and then things break. Oh yeah, that crab mini game. I haven't finished that. I don't even know how many crabs I'm at. I don't know what I'm missing. There's so much this game has. Way too many. I can pop a picture, and then I think, oh, that was it. Okay, this one, yeah. All right, well, I thought there was one more, but it's okay. So I'm gonna do, just take the F here, get my MP back, which is what I should have done instead of using the tinctures, but it's okay. It's okay. Let's see, 559 HP. I don't think I am at that yet, just yet. Oh, I am way past that. I was like, it's kind of weird. I feel like I should be at least at level 37. I've 100% just been like talking and not paying attention. That's how this grind goes, and practicing this grind. I'm just like, yeah, there's stuff happening. I hear the sound effects. Everything sounds great. Everything's going okay. More fried fish. I'm trying to think of like areas that you would go normally that didn't even touch in the speedrun. Like there's some places that I've gone for a brief moment. Like there's like that snowy area where I picked up the summoner crystal using the owl. Yeah, I guess it might just be like the, well, actually I don't know if it's the brutish one, but there's like the little Quintar area that I mentioned where you defeat the Quintar there, you get a pass. Well, you kind of visited, well, I kind of visited it when I picked up the crystal after going through the sewers. I show the Quintar Reserve a little bit. I have enough MP. I quite like that area. That's really cool. And you have to do like Quintar races, very similar to FF7. Yeah, all the depths bosses. Let's see. Yeah, the depths bosses. I don't want to say that they're the hardest bosses because I'm able to beat them in the speedrun, but they are for sure up there in the difficulty meter. I have enough. I needed to do some maths just to see if I had like enough for another set. All right, we are getting close. I think it'll be like maybe 4 more fish fights. And then we're going to dive into the respec system. Because I'm basically going to be manipulating the stats of my party to match what I need to actually defeat the super bosses. Okay, so there's that. We are just at 41, almost at 42. I'm just gonna spam buttons. I'm just gonna do what I've been doing, basically. All right, maybe 2 more. I don't know if I'm gonna need to fight like an extra one for my second wizard, because I did get a lot of extra encounters when I did the little dungeons, so it might not be that bad, but I've had runs where it's like everyone else is 43 except for the wizard that dies expectedly. It's a very sad time. Okay, 1 more. Let's do that. And the reason that I need to have them at 43, like, right then and there is because once I respec, any of the actual level ups that they get are going to go to, like, a different class. So I need to respec them in a very particular way. Okay, looks like we are good. All right. So that is done. Thank you for bearing with me with that. All right. So we're going to restock on MP things. Gonna buy 3 awake rings, which prevents sleep. And now that we have all the levels and all the money that we need, gonna go in here and basically this is the respec stuff, so you can see I'm basically removing levels from the classes that I've gotten levels for, and I move them into this, and you can see how your stats change and things. So Beatsmith is the speedy class, and that's gonna be used for my setup character. Gonna go into all shaman here because it does the most amount of magic damage, which we're going to be abusing. So 11, press shaman. So you can pull your level up points into any classes that you've unlocked, so you can play around with things as long as you have the money for it. Okay. So that's all done. We're also going to buy, oh wait, it's the first floor. 3 master capes for little everyone's set, right? I did that right? Yeah, looks right. Okay. Okay. So now I'm gonna go over here. We're going to do the next little grind on a different mob. So it'll be a little bit of change of pace. Oh, wait. Oh, RB. I was like, wait a minute, Weaver. I'm going to be setting everyone to the same class because you get the bonus stuff. Let's see that. Let's see. Fast cast, equip 1. First strike mid, flame seeker. And then you need the first strike mid and the dancing shoes. Okay. All right. And then I need to ether you. Perfect. All right. Perfect. So, basically, we're going to be farming this mob called Dry Kids. and they just give a lot of class points. If I do this properly, I can knock out Aegis in one fell swoop, but it kind of depends on if I actually catch them, because they are very finicky and they will run away on the overworld. That is, they'll also run away in battle, but if I do my setup properly, then they shouldn't be able to. So I sleep them because it can use one of many enemy abilities. There's a couple that we don't want, so like Sleep Aura, put my team to sleep, can't do anything about that. And then Reverse Polarity, which is actually a really cool enemy skill. Essentially, it's like whatever damage or heal, or whatever incoming damage will happen, it'll just like heal for that amount. So those are the couple that we're gonna try and avoid using Sleep on. Also a very good mob to farm if you're trying to up the scholar class. Oh, I never said it. That's why. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. I too am finicky and run away. Set home point. That. Okay. So Aegis is the one that takes the most, because I learn a few abilities with my setup class. But I also need an ability called Stalwart, which essentially makes it so that if you take fatal damage from full HP, you will survive with 1 HP. Kind of like gosh, what is it? Sturdy from Pokemon? I think that passive. So that kind of thing. And that's going to be very useful for a bunch of the mobs that have like one-shot AoEs. How much longer? Based on my splits, let's see. Here, let me math. So I am there. I think if it'll help, I think I should end around like 2:30-ish, 2:35 total time. So like 35 more minutes. So the way I have this set up is pretty much just put it to sleep and nuke it. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. So normally I definitely wouldn't be able to one-shot these with the Aegis class, but with the Flame Seeker and all the passive stuff, it's certainly helped. Okay, perfect. So this should be the last bit. I need 10 LP. We hit that. Well, top off. Gonna go here. And we're going to learn a good amount of abilities. So they're going to get Resist Break, which is similar to Frost, except it's like a physical attack rather than magic. And everyone's gonna learn Stalwart. Okay, that looks good. And then we're going to go for Warrior. And do the same thing, basically. So unofficial world record, because I haven't submitted yet, is 2:08:49. I think that it is possible, just gonna be very hard to be, at least with this like route. 2:05 is possible, but there's only like a handful of speedrunners of this game, so I'm sure there's tons of options that haven't even been explored, so I wouldn't be surprised if sub 2 would be a thing. And at that point, I'd be like, oh, yes. Time to learn new stuff. Because I don't know what I'm doing. All right. So, yeah, these ones are going to be a little bit faster. Not too bad. I just need 3 LP for this one. So we can learn Equip Sword. Which basically makes it... each class has a certain like set of armor and weapons they can equip. And there are passives that let you circumvent that restriction. Okay, so that's done. I need Fencer next. Whoops. Okay, and yeah, I'll just do that. Okay. So this is all set up. The next thing I'm gonna get from the Fencer class is a passive called Eagle Eye, which means that the first physical attack that I do will always hit. No. 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 Okay, it's gone. Luckily, I only need 2 of them, so it's not too bad, but it just got away from me. Uh-oh, what did I do? Did I do something here? No? I guess not. It was weird that they got turns. I wasn't expecting it. That's okay. Yeah, I love this game casually for sure. Flare. I don't know why they're getting turns. Am concerned. Yeah, I don't know. That's fine. It's not that big of a deal. I'm just used to me not having to skip turns with the last 2. But it doesn't look like it's doing too much. All right, so Ox Stance, Eagle Eye, and then the last one we're going to get passives for is Cleric. Well, not passives, actually. We're going to learn a spell. A spell called Spotlight, which boosts the amount of fire damage whoever has Spotlight on will take. So there's a lot of synergistic things going to be doing, just trying to up our flare damage, basically. Maybe it's faster than... No? It's odd. It's like they didn't get any levels, so it should be the case. Okay, and one more. One more. That. Skip. Okay. So that should be it for the grind for all that. Go here. We're going to learn Spotlight, and then Warlock, and that, and then set time. Let's see. Flame Seeker and Cleric's Hood, Pointy Hat. Okay, that should be it. Oh yeah. Casters, and then passives. Go back to fast cast, stalwart, and fast cast. Everyone has stalwart. Yeah, good. Okay. So that should be it. I'm gonna take the F here to heal. What's your favorite part of the run? Why is it sushi time? It's because I can just like no brain it usually, and I'm just like chilling. that would most likely be why. All right. So now we're going to go into the, I guess, end game area. So this is the castle. You're supposed to do a lot more. Well, I mean, we've done a lot, but progression wise, story stuff happens, and then it's like, oh yeah, you gotta go here and fight the baddies. little jump boost there. I forgot something, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I did. Let's see. Oh wait, no, I didn't. We're fine. I thought I forgot to go off trickery, but we're good. I'm like, well, if I forgot something, I'm gonna find out now. So it's basically just like a little bit of platforming. Each area has a little gimmick. This mushroom riding is something that we're introduced to early on in the game. If you remember that guard that I fought, who was spooky and had like 6 attacks. That's when you get introduced to that. And this boss rush are actually like cameos for bosses that you would normally fight. We skipped a good amount of them. It's just like similar to like, I guess, a Mega Man style, where it's just like upgraded versions of said bosses. But this is pretty much going to be the strat. So I open up with quick, which means I get 2 turns in a row. And what's really cool is that it counts as like 1 turn for the passive. So if you notice, I just use a flare with this wizard. And that blue icon at the bottom of their status stuff is our passive that increases our magic damage. So we basically get that bonus twice. Is it? I'm gonna be honest, I didn't play much Metroid, so I definitely wouldn't have gotten that. Okay, I'm gonna change passives around. Fast cast a smoke screen. And then use his ether. Alright, cool. Okay, that's that. And then this is Neo Warden. It's one of the gatekeepers in the any percent standard. Frost. Because there's an AoE move that you need to have hit your characters, at least with the current strats. And there's like a 3% chance of it to miss. And if that happens, then you die. And the thing about this boss rush is that if you die on any of the bosses, you have to start from like the beginning of the area. So you have to like make your way through it again. Like all the platforming and stuff. Like you don't have to fight the bosses again, but you still have to like walk all the way through. So basically a flare paired up with like spotlight, that our magic buff, passive, magic defense, debuff. Really strong. Which is why it's like the basis for the strats. So this is the ice puzzle. Really no. Really tricky. Because if I fall into the tar pit, or if I push the block the wrong way, then I have to reset the entire thing. Can do it again. Good. Also, just listen to how fitting this music is. And now it's gone. All right, Frost. This is actually the ninja boss that I avoided, and its move similar to like the ninjas. That makes it so that it dodges like 4 physical hits, which isn't an issue for an all wizard team, but definitely posed a problem when I was playing casually and I had like a well-rounded team. I was like, oh boy. A lot of my damage relied on actually physical DPS. Okay. Well, that's done. Alright, some more platforming. There's nothing else for me to fight. I just might run into some random encounter. Well, I say random encounters. Some encounters with poor movement. Okay, I'm just gonna do this to be safe. That one's a tricky one because I can't like see where that enemy is until I get there. All right, this is a little tricky. You gotta weave up. Oh, this ain't it. I gotta weave through the pillars. There's a oily sword right here, and that basically it oh darn. It basically does the spotlight debuff, except it's more of a passive one because you just need to line a physical attack, which is why I got the Eagle Eye passive from Fencer. So that's gonna help with the setup. Because that paired with resistance break, it's gonna go a long ways. Okay, so we have finished the castle, and now we fight the final boss. Because the final boss is waiting in the throne room, absolutely. Where is everyone? It's empty. What is this? Shenanigans. Okay. Well, before we do that, I need to go up there for that stone. We need to fight the optional super bosses. So, we're going to go this into chivalry. Let's see. Remove that. Equip sword. Put on Eagle Eye. Put that oily sword. So yeah. Takes 25% more fire damage, just more synergy things with the flare. I'm gonna save this as a template because I'm gonna be switching some things out. We're gonna put awake rings on the wizards because the first super boss we're gonna fight can put my party to sleep, and it doesn't matter if my setup character is put to sleep because they'll already do their job, but the wizards need to do the damages. Alright. So, I want to try and avoid the sharks, because they do nothing for me, except waste my time, at this point. Alright. So, one thing I like about the minigame hub is it is a good little place to get to a majority of the bosses. It also helps prevent the fear that I have of the heckin' the depths music, because things just like the music we have here is so nice. When you go into the depths normally, it gets like spooky, and I hate it. I was jump scared by these bosses because I didn't know what to expect, and the amount of anxiety that I had traversing through this casually, it's so high. So this is pretty much the strat that you're gonna see. There's gonna be a few cases where I had to do some other things, which I'll explain. But for the most part, it's just like setup and then use that.
So this squid is one of the optional bosses?
Yes, that's correct.
So you're telling me every other category is worse?
Yeah.
This
basically.
is the best category.
There we go. And I skipped through it, but basically they drop these deity eyes, and I need to collect 4 of them. Let's see, template. I load this because it doesn't have the awake rings, and I need the magics, the MP. Yeah, it's so creepy. Like there will be I think there's a few depths music bosses that we're gonna have to listen to the depths music for a little bit, but for the most part, you get to enjoy this. All right. The next one is the old one, which should be down here. It's very easy to get lost because what this game has is that you can collect like map scraps, and basically that'll make it so that you actually have like a mini map. But we're not we ain't gonna do that because I definitely know where I'm going. I've practiced this stuff. So this one, as far as damage goes, same thing. Setup, use flares. It will spawn an ad, which will use explode, which is like self-destruct. If you're familiar with either like Pokemon or even Final Fantasy self-destruct. But what I'm going to do, because it will use, I think it's called Dark Overture. It's an AoE that does a lot of damage. I need to make sure that my wizards survive it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to draw the aggro from the ad using my my spare character. So now you'll see like the line from the torpedo is directed towards my cleric. And then I can just pretty much just use flare because it'll do that. Tank the hit, reserve the stalwart for my wizards, and then finish it off here. Okay, well that's done. Gotta go back here. Let's see what's next. The shark. Okay. So I'm going to use this Neptune stone, which you got quite a bit ago, to go to the shrine. Yeah, sacrifices must be made. Let's see. The shark is gonna be similar to the Kraken. Just set up nothing fancy. And then the next super boss is going to be one of the RNG bosses. So that'll be fun. We'll just need one counter to happen, and if it doesn't happen, then I'm sad. Okay, so if I go here, yeah, this is the creepy depths music, and just like limited like vision and just not knowing where things are, the worst. Absolutely the worst. Oh, I passed it. Hello. Okay. Oh, we also get to listen to the boss jams. Good. Very good music. We'll listen to this more on the next one because there's a lot more going on. Which I will admit the next boss is really cool in terms of what's happening.
I was
try to explain
really sold on this game from step one. You know, as soon as I saw it was a JRPG, I was like, ooh, I should play this. And then I saw the ad, and I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I should play this. But as we're going through the barrage of endgame sea creatures, I'm like, this is truly the greatest game ever made. We're on a shark now?
Yeah.
I love it. This is great.
All right. I go here. And then I need to learn, this is my last one, yeah. I need to learn Storm Stance, which is like count as physical damage, lightning, which is the whole reason that I need that thing to hit. You're gonna change my setup slightly. So if you remember the where are you? The Weaver has that passive, which does an AoE. There's that, and then Smokescreen, fast cast, and then Wizard's Hat. Okay. Good. So, the reason I need that AoE is because there's a lot of ads in this next fight. I'm going to use the Diamond Shard, which we got a while ago, to go to the Quintar Reserve area. The low-key chocobo area. I'm gonna set this home point because RNG is fun, and we're gonna fly out here. So, on to our next sea creature, because you gotta have one that has the potential for a lot of ads. Let's see, down here, I believe, I hope, yeah, should be it. All right, this is as Peacekeeper, and essentially with the tentacles, each one like absorbs an elemental damage, so it's really one of the ones where it's like you gotta play around with your setups because your go-to AoEs are probably elemental base, and so each one absorbs like a particular element, that kind of stuff. And each one has like different stats, so some are more resistant to physical, like this one has almost 1,000 defense, this one only has like almost 500, so really neat this fight, and pain in my butt to route. So gonna open up with resist break with the AoE. Everyone's gonna have a debuff thing. Open up with quicks for the setup. We're going to cover our first wizard, reason being cover, basically it's like any attacks directed towards that wizard they will take, and the reason for that is the boss uses a move that stuns or paralyzes, and that's going to be no good. But with the smoke screen passive, I get to avoid that using the Weaver. And then let's see, Fire Runners to clear out a couple of these tentacles. Also, if you notice, the tentacle to the leftmost is absorbing all this fire damage, so that one's going to be the problem one. I need it to actually land its hit, which I can check to see what the chance is. I'm gonna pull aggro with this wizard. Let's see. Yeah, there's a 4% chance it misses. So hopefully we don't get that, but now that I've pointed it out, it's going to happen. If as a problem, you should subscribe. That's funny. So yeah, wrap causes paralysis. Good. Okay, cool. So got the counter, so that's dead. Now all we have to do is worry about the boss. So I'm gonna quick that. We're gonna set up a couple of flare damages. We're gonna use rewind with the last one because it took damage. Stalwart's not gonna proc. Rewind makes it so everything in the blast turn is basically like reset. So I'll get my health back. We're gonna slow the boss, and we're gonna dust the second wizard to manipulate turn order. Dust makes it so their turn goes right then and there. There's a rewind for health. Tank floodgate. And we're just gonna add another debuff just to delay the boss's turn. Cover's gonna tank that, and then it's just a matter of using feeble antennas. And a fire in. And that should be Peacekeeper. Good fight. Alright. So that was one of the RNG ones down. Luckily, didn't have to reset. Load that one, take the F. Alright. We're gonna be using the Mars Stone, which we got at the very beginning when we were collecting all the weapons and stuff, because it brings us close to our next super boss, which is another RNG one. It is the one where it will open up with the move that causes a random status ailment on my entire party. And there are 3 status ailments I can't have land on my wizards, which are sleep, mute, well, I guess silence, and stop. If any of those 3 land on my wizards, then I have to do the walk of shame. And you will see what I mean, because I'll set my home point here. And it's basically just this long walk in this hallway. So basically the bosses are just going to be like the same thing. It's going to open up with that status element. I'll reset if I have to, but the setup's the same. So if you want to do another plug, that would be a good time.
We can do that. We are coming up on the end of the run here, which means next up we've got Lego City Undercover, followed by Superliminal, and then Synesthete. So between Lego City Undercover, the bonus purple incentive for Lego City, and then Superliminal, we're looking at probably about an hour and a half between this run and the beginning of Synesthete. And we are, if I can find the button, we are about $43 away from getting the upgrade to all songs warning. those of you who don't know, Synesthete is a rhythm game, but it's a sort of it's like a top-down Gradius shooter kind of rhythm game. And so the difference between the current All Songs Trivial and All Songs Warning is a pretty significant jump in difficulty. This isn't just, you know, a classic rhythm game where it's going to be more arrows to click. This is bosses get harder, lives get easier to lose, you know, a proper action game difficulty shift, as well as having more arrows to click on. So if you want to see Joker struggle a little bit more with that run, you've got probably about an hour and a half to make that happen and get those donations in.
Always donate to watch the runner struggle more. That's
Always.
just the rule of thumb.
You always donate to make the marathon longer, to watch the weird bonus games, and to make runners' lives harder.
Absolutely, without a doubt. So yeah, that fight went well. Didn't have to deal with the status element reset, so that is good. And then coming up, we're going to let's see, Gabriel, which is basically I turned in all the deity eyes and the stem word that I got from the last boss, so I can actually approach whatever this is. All right, and here we go. Look at Gabriel with his nice cut and whatever else is going on with the rest of his body. All right, so yeah, basically just same setup. Nothing I have to worry about other than doing my inputs properly. Also, we have a music change, so you know it's the real deal when the music changes. I'd also be very curious to know like who designed these these bosses, because like this one and Conscript, they have like a similar design, but it's like holy moly, what is going on? I remember when I first fought this, I was just like, what are you doing down here? What's going on with you? Okay, Chaos Roulette. Shouldn't be an issue. I'm gonna refresh Spotlight because there's a good chance that I don't hit my resist break again. So Spotlight's just safer. Yeah, that's the reason that I need Eagle Eyes, just to, like, ensure that I can at least get the first set of debuff going. Okay. So now we got the I forget what seed it is. The Dark Seed, and it is our ticket into the final set of this optional boss stuff. But I need to wait a hot minute here because I need to wait for it to grow. So I'm going to rest up at the end because I'm killing time. Then basically there's a little like patch here. There's like some special mobs and stuff that will actually drop seeds that you can plant. Another mini game while I'm at it is like there's this penguin here, and it's like, help, I have missing penguins. And if you collect all of them, you actually get a tuxedo, which is an armor that you can wear, and it turns your character into a penguin. So it's cool. Like, so yeah, there's a penguin up there. I don't remember exactly how many penguins there are. I don't have enough time to collect them all, though, as I would show it. But yeah, there's a lot going on. Let's see, what else in here? I could visit one of the class masters. I don't remember where they are. I don't remember where they are. But basically, yeah, it was once you master a class, you talk to them and they'll give you like a little proof of something or other. And then you can turn those in for high quality gear. Okay, so I'm gonna pop this just to top off, and we're going to go to the old world because this is where the final optional boss is. Boop. All right, the same setup as normal. And then after this, it's pretty much just like the final boss, and then we shall be done with the run. Also, I don't know why this design of this boss just reminds me of Pokemon. Someone else said Digimon. Some kind of mon. Alright, flare. Most likely my cleric is going to die. Yep. So fire blast, but then like the... Oh, didn't die. Surprised I am. Okay, I'm not surprised about that one. I don't need that. Normally my cleric dies, so that was a surprise. Cool. All right. So now I'm going to go to the new world, which is this stone is what we got at the top of the throne room, and this is more like story plot. A lot of the text is kind of just like there for you to immerse yourself in what the antagonist is trying to get you to do, which is enjoy this game, honestly. Enjoy adventure, JRPGing. It's a fantastic message. All right. So here, a little bit of movement. If you get on the Quintar and move to that area, you don't have to worry about encounters, which is great.
Do we have just a second for a donation before this wrap up?
Pardon?
Do we have a second for a donation before the final boss wrap up?
Yeah.
All right, we just got $43 from Koala XS. It says,
Koala.
Did somebody say we donate to make the streamer's life harder? I'm down. And that should be, I need to refresh to triple check, but I'm pretty sure that will get us to the target. Yes, that has completed the upgrade for Synesthete. We are upgrading to all songs warning mode now to make the streamer's life a little bit harder.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much for that, Koala.
Thank you, Koala. Heck yeah. Let's go.
Heck yeah.
All right. So.
Ooh, and
yeah,
we have just opened up a new poll. With that, Tiltify has opened a new poll. We can choose between FemShep and BroShep for Mass Effect 2.
Oh, Mass Effect. Okay.
Yeah, this is a FemShep household. I don't know about things over in Camper World, but this is a FemShep house.
I have no idea what's going on in Mass Effect, honestly.
Literally, just you can make Commander Shepard male or female.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. It makes sense. It makes sense now. I thought it was some kind of mod or something. It's like, what's going on?
No, built into the story.
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, this is the final boss. Basically, it plays out just the same as it would in like the regular ending, except Ashley gets to do more things like banish people. But we won't get to that point. So I open up with that resist break. I don't have to do anything else with my Weaver. And we're gonna do a Firena into a flare on the tank because they have a lot more HP, as they should. And then do a couple of these Boltenas. Because the last two have the wizard's hat, so they do more lightning damage or thunder damage. I forget which one it is. Alright, and then all that's left is to take care of Talon, which easy peasy. And then time is gonna come up once the screen fades to black right before the credits, so a little more dialogue. Basically a lot of just like, thanks for enjoying the game, that kind of stuff. And time is going to be now. So yeah, that was Crystal Project. Hope y'all enjoyed. The game offers a lot more than what I was able to showcase, but I tried to give some explanations where I could. Oh yeah, that's it for me. Thank you for the GGs.
Thank you. That was a super fun run. It's exciting to see that game and know there's more to do in a casual playthrough. That might be on my list for this week.
Heck yeah. I will spread the word of Crystal Project any way I can. And it's such a steal, in my opinion, on Steam. I think it's like $14, something like that.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Can't complain about those numbers.
Mm-hmm. So the credits are a bop. So yeah, I guess if you're interested in the game, if you haven't heard, there is a demo, free demo. The demo file will transfer into the full game. Really have nothing to lose. We do have a speedrunning Discord. There's just a handful of us runners, but we share things that we find, and it's good. Good times. And I guess lastly, donate for the puppers, the animals. They need our help.
They do. Thank you again, Camper, for that run. That was fantastic. Heck of a way to spend 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
JRPG runs are always a blast.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And good luck with your run later on in the marathon.
Yeah, thank you. Excited for it. We got a lot of cool stuff between now and then, though. We got Lego City Undercover coming up next, along with a purple % showcase, which I don't know what that means. But I'm excited to find out, but I have no idea what
everything's purple
would mean. Maybe it's gotta be some kind of glitch. I don't know. We will figure it out pretty soon. As soon as DJ Ortho is in here and partying. Should be just a second to get that set up.
Okay.
And if my Discord would work. We're just jamming. We got some good music. Yeah, whenever. You can roll through the. All right. We are getting set up now for Lego City Undercover % by DJ Ortho. In the meantime, let's just run through some of these upcoming incentives again. Having met our Synesthete upgrade to all songs warning target, we now have our next target incentive. In 8 hours and 50 minutes, there's a Liar Princess and Blind Prince run. There's a $50 donation incentive to get an extra flower for the prince, as well as a incentive about 20 hours after that or so for the Pathless to pet the bird. just started watching a friend of mine start learning the speedrun for the Pathless. It looks super, super fun. I'm very excited to see a run of that later in the marathon. And for every $20, we can give the good bird a pet. Over on the poll side of things, our next poll coming up is for Death's Door, my run tomorrow morning. I'll be playing any % no major glitches, and you can choose the game language. We are able to change the language of the game mid-run from the options screen. So whatever people choose, we can keep changing it. Right now we are in French with $100 in the lead, but German is close behind with 64. And if either German or French win, I promise to do my very best to read various character names and things in that language, but I do not speak either of those languages. I just have an English degree. But by dang it, we will do our best. After that, the next poll coming up is for the Shepherd choice in Mass Effect 2. Choose between Fem Shep and Bro Shep. So if you are a Mass Effect fan, I know there are some small subtle ways that those two characters change certain dialogue, I believe, and change things in the game. So pick which game you want to see. With those last couple donations, too, we have passed $3,300, which means we are less than $200 away from our first bonus game, Kirby's Dream Land. That'll be coming up tomorrow after that Death's Door run. So roughly 11:43 tomorrow will be time for that bonus game. So we have from now until then to raise $200 more and get ourselves that Kirby's Dream Land run. You know, as we said, you always donate to make the player's life harder, and we got exactly that from Koala XS. But we also always donate to make the marathon longer, so we want to make sure we get that bonus game in time. Just one last reminder while we're waiting for this setup to happen. All proceeds, all of these donations are going to Go Rescue, or Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center. Go Rescue is a no-kill dog shelter in Norfolk, Virginia that was started as a small operation by some passionate people who just care about giving dogs a second chance. We told them from the very beginning of running the No Glitches Allowed events that if things ever get desperate, they can call us. And a few weeks ago, we received that call. The charity is falling on some hard times and needs our help, and this is our opportunity to help keep them afloat and help them out. So remember, all of your donations go towards that, and Go Rescue is a tax-deductible nonprofit, so your donations should be tax-deductible and may even be matched by your employer.